Hi friends, welcome back. We've talked about how important marketing is for business, brand, and basically company success. Really, but how do you start? Starting any project can be difficult, right? But a complex thing like a marketing plan can be overwhelming. So the way to do it is to start with market landscaping. Basically, just like any landscape, this is like drawing out a picture, right? Draw out a picture of what your overall market looks like. You could start at the top with what your goal or aspiration for this time period, 1 year or 3 year is, right? To become number one in the segment, to grow market share by this amount of time, number of customers, etc. We'll look at an example. Let me now introduce you to my new course, Winning with Marketing. The link is in the description. This course shows a structured process to create marketing plans. It is based on how marketing is done in the real world. It is practical, easy to understand and to actually use. Let's get back to the discussion. Then start filling in various aspects of the business. Where you'd like to be in the next 1 year, where you'd like to be about 3 years hence. Don't go too far. 5 to 7 years generally is too much for me. 1 year, 18 months is what you should have a good idea about. 3 years down, you should have some sort of fairly clear vision of where you want to be. You do need a slightly larger time period kind of a goal to aspire towards. Then put in what else is important. Who are the major customers? Who are the influencers? Now, influencers are those who may not buy the product or may not eat or drink or purchase the product, but they have an influence, like a very close friend who advises you about a medicine brand. Your father who might tell you about the car that you want to buy, their experiences. So put in the influencers, put in various things like which are the important channels for you. E-commerce, put in whatever data you have, it might be a new channel that you want to start. Direct marketing, you'd like to put in another sales force. So put that there. Competition, put in who your competition is within the category and also slightly other categories which compete with you, right? So fill this up. Don't be too specific on very accurate data. Whatever data you have, you put in. Otherwise, just fill in with what you think are the likely figures, and then you can revisit that. So at the end of this, pretty much, one pager, that's what a drawing is, right? A two-dimensional representation of what the various facets of the business are. Put it down there. Let it be quick. Don't put in too much time here. You can always and you should come back to this landscaping slide later, right? So this is what it could really look like. If you have an energy drink which has a differentiator of having certain elements which help in immunity, right? So energy booster plus immunity differentiator. This is what a marketing landscape could look like. Overall, what's the aspiration? If you want to gain certain market share within your category, outside your category, who are the major players? What are the channels where it sells? Right? So this is how it could actually look like, and this is an example that we thought I'd put forward, and then we could move on from here. Now, after having drawn the overall market landscape, here is an important, short but important exercise that I always do during my brand planning. That is, I call it the frame of reference. Okay. Now, not everyone does this, but I find it really important. Now, frame of reference is actually putting a boundary to your market, right? For example, a health drink with immunity booster, it could compete in a small space or a very large space. Now, whatever you decide as the boundary for where you're going to be competing, that is how the consumer will see you. That will define your competition and your messaging. Supposing you go for a narrow space of, say, post-workout drinks, right? So you have very clearly one or two brands that or maybe more brands, but there is a smaller space that you compete in. Now, increase that space a little bit, right? Energy drinks with certain health supplementation. In this case, you would also be competing with Ayurvedic tablets and other such broader market aspects. You could also go totally big, like health boosters. Now here you'd be competing with not just what we've talked about earlier, but also say the homemade kada, right? Or certain treatments which are meant just for boosting health, more medicinal in nature, right? So now you opened up the field considerably. It's important that you understand which of these specific domains that you're competing in, because your resource allocation, your strategy, everything depends on this. Do it in the beginning, or at least have a broad idea and then work on it as you go ahead. You can change it a little bit, but you should have a concrete idea at this space, at this time itself. Friends, it's important to know, once we do these two exercises, right, creating a market landscape, figuring out or being very clear about our frame of reference, how can we actually use it more specifically? Say you're a large brand owner, right? You have this huge brand which is degrowing. The frame of reference, of course, marketing landscaping is a must, but frame of reference will tell you, say you're the market leader as well. Do you need to start expanding the category and working more towards those aspects? It could also be that no, you have lost your current small category, your smaller frame of reference that you were working in. So you need to go deeper into a smaller segment. You spread yourself too wide, right? So clearly the frame of reference is important for you to understand where you're competing. Do you need to enlarge in it and create a larger category, or do you need to go sharper? And we'll talk more about this when we discuss positioning. For a marketing learner, look at how the way you size the market has an impact on various other parameters of your plan, right? Who you are competing with, what your message elements are, the amount of money you spend. As you look at smaller, larger and largest universe kind of category, you will see all these parameters change. As a business owner, very, very important. Sit down with your marketing teams and sales teams, and you might be handling marketing yourself. Be very clear what is the frame of reference, what is the amount of market that you will be targeting. According to that, draw out fresh plans, because this itself, this frame of reference definition will give you more ideas on how you have concrete plans designed for specific market sizes, which helps you win. That's it for today, friends. Market definition and landscaping and understanding your frame of reference to compete. The very essentials of starting your brand planning. Thank you.